Today on Switch to Linux, we will talk about Thundermail, a new email option that you might have for privacy that is up and coming. Thanks for checking out this video by Switch to Linux, where we like to talk about privacy and security and other things, just kind of moving away from that big tech central organization gulag that likes collecting and sharing and using our data for ads and all that type of stuff. If you like this type of content, please feel free to subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Leave us a like and a comment down below. So let's go ahead and discuss this. You may have seen some articles and or videos about it. I wanted to chat about it and talk a little bit about what my thoughts are, a little bit of concerns, what I've read up, and just kind of where I think this could be a decent direction and some applications I might have for it in the future. So let's go ahead and have a look at it. Of course, this is the announcement, Thundermail and Thunderbird Pro. So they did a pretty good job with their marketing releases. As long as they follow what they said, that is a question, but as long as they follow what they said, this could actually end up being a pretty good thing down the road. Now, of course, the first thing we must address is another Mozilla thing, promising privacy. As we know, Mozilla Foundation has gone a little on the crazy side. They seem to think that privacy is collecting a bunch of your data through Firefox and handing it back up. But the reality is that Thunderbird itself is mostly independent from what's going on at Mozilla. So back in 2020, they spun off onto their own company, which completely manages Thunderbird, although it is under the purview of the Mozilla Foundation. So it is its own subsidiary of the Mozilla Foundation. This is MZLA Technologies Corporation. This is the official owner of Thunderbird, and it operates as a completely independent group. And so I don't see a lot of the stuff going on that's bad in Firefox being ported into Thunderbird at this time, but that is definitely something we have to watch, and we have to be a little bit cautious of, because if they buy into some of the things that Firefox is doing from Mozilla, this could be a big problematic thing. But as long as they are an arm's distance away, they are operated independently, everything maintains open source, and we have clarity about things going on, this could potentially be an option. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is, as they have mentioned in their announcement, they are not changing anything in the Thunderbird app itself. So the Thunderbird app is not going to become a bunch of freeware or shareware or freemium type products. They have spoken to that, and they said everything in the current Thunderbird application remains exactly as it is, but there are other features that are more tied into the web component capabilities of Thunderbird, which is there. It does kind of behave like a web browser in some instances. Some of those functions, they can implement some of the extra features that they are looking to do. So what are they looking to do? Well, the Thundermail is actually the last of the services they're going to be rolling out. What they're actually going to be rolling out is a calendar replacement. So instead of syncing everything into Google Calendars, you would have the ability to run a calendar based on Thunderbird. Then you have the Thunderbird Send. This is a kind of a rebirth of the Firefox Send, although it works more peer-to-peer rather than a centralized system, which is what Firefox Send did. But this will allow you to share large files to people directly without going through the other servers. And then we have Thunderbird Assist. This is the one I am the least excited about. This is an AI assistant based on Flower AI, and this is the one that I'm little concerned if they're going to throw this into the Thunderbird application itself. As I had addressed, I think I had addressed it in a video not too long ago, maybe it was a news one, where Thunderbird was testing a AI plugin that would give you summaries of your emails. If that's just a plugin and it stays just a plugin, I'm fine with that. But if they start to cram that crap into Thunderbird, I'm a lot less excited about that. So we'll see what happens. But of course, this AI assistant is part of this. And the one that I'm most interested in is the Thundermail. So this is going to be an email provider that will provide you email either tied to their domain, which is thundermail.com, or tied to a domain you can bring. Now, that's the part that excites me, as I'm working right now to develop a plan working particularly with authors, building streamlined author packages, author websites. But one thing I cannot do inside of my services is provide email. So I want to find these options where I can send people to create a good privacy-focused email account and tie into what we're already doing. Thundermail, the way it's set up here, looks like it's a viable solution, as is ProtonMail. So those are two that I have experimented with a little bit to see what we can do in scope of those things. So here is the difference about this, as you might find. The costs. Now, of course, we have this adage that if you're not paying for something, you are the product. And by and large, this is true. There are a few exceptions. ProtonMail has a free tier, and I would say ProtonMail is fairly safe, but they are also funded by external sources, and a lot of their core features people want are paid services, and I have heard from friends that use it that it is absolutely worth the money. I don't personally do those because as a web developer with tons and tons of server space, I host all my own emails and calendars and contacts and file sharing and all that kind of stuff through a personal Nextcloud instance and various email applications on side of my servers. I like that as an option for me, but not everybody likes that option. Most people just want some solution. So what they're coming up with, and I love their model, and it is a novel model, and that is cool. First, the Pro version and the Thundermail version will be available to everybody for free who contributes code to the Thunderbird project. So if you are a coder interested in providing and helping provide code, they are offering it free to you. If you are not a coder, and I'm not a coder, so I wouldn't do that, I would go in and I would pay a fee to use the mail services, and they don't have the pricing structures all worked out. Now, they said as soon as they have a large enough infrastructure and enough money coming in, they will eventually be able to open up a free tier, probably highly limited, and that tier would actually be something that's very, very basic, very, very intro. But I like their model where they're kind of starting out saying, hey, we are free, we are free of data collection, is what I meant to say, but you got to pay a little bit of money. So you're not the product, you're helping support and fund the service. And I like this approach because this might be one of those things that kind of rattles us out of these free services. You see, Google and Microsoft and Apple and all these companies got us into utilizing their services by offering all these services for free. And you have gigabytes of data, and you have, free calendar management and access. And then eventually, though, they start turning this up a little bit and limiting it a little bit more to the point where you gotta pay a little bit more. You gotta give up more of your privacy. You gotta see more ads to maintain these free levels. But at this point in time, if we go in and say, okay, I'm going to pay to get away from the ads, are they still collecting the data on the back end to still make money on that data? And I argue they probably are. So when I see things like Facebook is saying, hey, in the EU, we're experimenting with a paid version that has no ads, my biggest concern is they're still collecting data on the background. Now, Thunderbird here, which is, as we said, independent from the Mozilla organization, which is doing a lot of this, the informed consent equals privacy, which is total nonsense. That equation does not compute. Informed consent does not equal privacy, Mozilla. The organization running Thunderbird is separate from them. So even though I'm not always, and I have done some videos critical of some more recent decisions Thunderbird has moved to, they are still a good free and open source application that does still function very competently. And so I still use it, even though I kind of wanted to change away from it a little bit. Just the fact of how many emails I manage, that it's still functional, that I just had to tweak a few things to restore the the functionality that I had lost at one point in time. It's all fine now. And so as I'm seeing this, I decided I was going to hit sign up for their newsletter to get information on this beta launch when it comes out, because I really am anxious to test this with what we're doing with author websites right now to see if this is a viable solution to say, hey, we're going to build you the website and then I'll send you over to this company for your email servers, and then I can tie the email server into our server so that they're running their MX records through that, and the email system through what we're doing with our hosting. So those are some of the things that I've been looking at doing here. And so I'm experimenting with Proton right now, and it'd be nice to have a few other options in the privacy respecting sector in order to be able to do this, because I'm not hosting people's other emails. It's hard enough hosting my own emails. I'm not hosting other people's emails too. That's the reality. So I am actually kind of excited to see what Thunderbird is going to be doing with Thundermail coming out. I'm anxious to see is this actually going to be a good viable solution for something I have been looking at and tinkering with and planning for the better part of a year now, just to kind of see what's going on. And so I actually personally have signed up to get on this list to see. And as soon as that opens up and I can get a chance, I'll go ahead and give a good evaluation and let you guys know if this is a decent solution. Overall, my confidence level in this, just seeing what they're doing and seeing how they have separated themselves from the core Mozilla Foundation, I have a little bit of confidence that this is probably pretty good, especially being as that it's all open source and we can all verify that what they say they're doing, they are actually doing. So there's our thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you are an author interested in a website, reach out to me and I'll tell you a little bit about what we're doing. I don't have all of my sites and marketing and all that stuff out there, but I have worked with a few beta clients over the last couple of months here, so I can let you in on some of that if you're interested in hearing about that. With that, thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.